Good morning, children. All right. Last one before lunch break. All right. Thanks for your work. Several of your books and your YouTube channel have given me a new perspective over this past year. Good. I'm a 26-year-old male working as a researcher for a large company in Texas. The work transitioned 100% remote since COVID, especially for occasionally needing to go into the office to pick up some new devices throughout the year. This somewhat tethers me as I don't know ahead of time when a high priority project will pop up and require me to stop by. Having said that, I'm starting to consider reconnaissance options, especially since I finished my work on average of less than 10 hours per week. Oh, like 1099 Superior Razors. As I start, I want to give reconnaissance a try this winter for 3 to 6 weeks, sometime between early December and early January. This time frame is good because things slow down at work and leveraging the holidays. I don't have to take as many days off. Currently, I plan on driving western my town, hitting Big Bend National Park. All right. Do you have a real desire to go there? Because there's nothing there. I mean, there's a park there. So if you want to go check out the park, that's fine and cool. But unless you're like, if you think, I'm going to find a job out there, there's nothing there. Beautiful, but there's nothing there. And trekking its outer mountain loop. This should take several days. I'm especially interested in your thoughts, recommendations for the remainder of the trip. Okay, obviously I've considered Arizona, Las Vegas, Utah, and Colorado. Also, I have a friend in Southern California, so if things lined up, would consider detouring out to San Diego. Yeah, San Diego is about the only town worth visiting in California. Wonderful town. But it's still 8 hours away from Phoenix. It's a haul. I mean, those are the states. Well, you're in Texas, so states get big out there. It's not like a little hop over the border. I was in Rhode Island an hour ago, and then I was in Massachusetts. We're East Coasters. We like our states just like our leftist penises, nice and small. I like the idea of staying at Airbnbs in interesting towns, exploring the surrounding nature. However, I plan on roughing it a portion of the time with camping gear, sleeping in the back of my RAV4. Hopefully, I can find fun entertainment on the weekends and for New Year's, and plan on the cold approach day game just to stay social and meet new people. I don't know if I'd waste your time approaching gals. Look, reconnaissance is work. Okay, here it is, reconnaissance, man. Read the book. It's work. Now, look. Fine, is a cute gal? Absolutely. Go ahead, ask a girl out, get laid. I'm not saying that, but you're on the clock because you don't have that much time in the field. So I'll leave it with you. Not sure about the feasibility of this in our pandemic situation, even in big cities like Phoenix and Las Vegas. That's it for the request. I may recontact you overall life advice direction. Just as a preface, I'm working towards self-employment from a couple different angles right now. I hope to 100% remote, making $25,000 a year in the next year or two. Things are starting to materialize with my research. As I got my first paying client, I'm starting to see how I can boost consulting via work content creation. Your two-pronged approach has been a game changer. Yeah, no one achieves greatness working for another man for 40 hours a week. You will have a very average life at the end of that. Getting the side hustle has made me so much more impervious to the BS going on in my 9 to 5. You don't have to pay rent. You're sitting on $200,000 in cash savings, dude. You're doing just fine. Self-employment ability. All right, I don't want to mention your name so you don't get in trouble with your. All right, so let's make your reconnaissance. You got the money you could afford to get an Airbnb. I was like, oh, you got to stay in your car and wash your face in a sink because that's what I suggest you do that. Wash in waysides because brush your teeth. That's what I did. Make it just like, oh, I can do it. I can sleep. You can sleep in your car. So you got a month, and it's going to be the coldest part, more or less, or the second most coldest month. Let's take a look at Phoenix, Arizona. We'll start here. Give me a visual. It's going to be beautiful. Wonderful weather down there at that time. All right. You are there. You're going to drive through West Texas. I would skip all of New Mexico. There's no reason to go to New Mexico. None. Albuquerque, I like Albuquerque as a town. You couldn't get me to live there, though. Come for the food, stay because your car got stolen. That's the motto of Albuquerque. I'd spend at least 2 weeks in Phoenix to get to know the area. It's a very big area, geographically speaking. It is a significant population, too. And now might be the ideal time because traffic hopefully is not as bad as it normally is with everybody working from home. If you're into hiking, you have to do the Peralta trails, Fremont Saddle. And if you can hike that area, it's the Superstition Mountains area. Hike over to Tortilla Flats and down. Drive the Apache Trail, which is just a little bit to the east of Tortilla Flats. I check out Cave Creek. It's just kind of quaint, touristy town, and carefree. Although that's more of the luxury neighborhood. Stop in Old Town Scottsdale. Newtown Scottsdale is okay too. I'm just trying to think of what else. I just did a lot of golfing. Went out west to the White Mountains, I believe they're called. But there's it's just put a week in at Phoenix at least. I would also make a rocket, maybe stop at Tucson on the way out to Phoenix. Hike Sabino Canyon. You have to hike Sabino Canyon. But Tucson, basically in the north half is good. The south half can be hit by a nuclear bomb. It is dangerous. I was shocked. Like, why is there a guy banging on my door at a stop sign? I mean, it's kind of shocking how bad it is. And if you can, eat at Durant's in Phoenix, Arizona. One of the last good supper clubs there. It's going to get cold. Once you go into the northern part of the state, I'd recommend doing a trip from Payson to Jerome, if the mountain pass is good, to Sedona. Maybe check out Flagstaff. Keep in mind it will be cold because they're 4,000 feet higher up. And you can also check out the Grand Canyon, but maybe a day or two in Flagstaff if you want to check that out. Then I would get your ass out to Vegas. Spend at least a week there. And do not do the Strip. Strip may not even be open, but you want to do Red Rock Canyon. You want to climb Black Mountain. You want to climb or you want to scale down the Gold Spike Trail down by the Hoover Dam. Arizona Hot Springs is cool. It is a very, very, very hot springs. Go up to Mount Charleston and eat at a bunch of different cultural restaurants when you're in Vegas. Stay out of the North Side. Stay out of Alphabet City. Don't bother with the Strip. Got a month, huh? If you want, you can go to San Diego. I wouldn't, but you know. It's going to be winter, so I don't think you're going to be able to do. You'll be able to go to St. George. There's not much to do in St. George, Utah. But since it's even higher up, and you go up into, what's it called? God, come on, Clary. Zion National Park. I have a feeling it'll be cold, if not closed and snowy. And then also by default, you won't be able to go to Moab either. That's going to be high up. It's going to be very cold. So not much there. God, yeah. And then if it's December and January, man, you got to worry about mountain passes. Even Highway 70. I mean, Colorado. I know you think, I'll go up in Utah and Colorado. No, you won't. They do a great job. I mean, the Department of Transportation do a great job, but I think Colorado is, because it's just so high up, and a lot of these passes, like the Eisenhower tunnel, I think that's like 11,000 feet. You're just not. Your car starts grasping for air. It's so thin up there. Maybe your best deal is to go down to San Diego. And what I'd also recommend, you know what? Maybe that's what you do is you just hit Phoenix and Vegas. Those are the two you do. Go spend some time in San Diego. Grab your passport if they have the border open. And I'd recommend go to Puerto Peñasco. That's the best beaches. That's in Mexico. Best beaches I've ever seen. Unreal. And that's very nice down there. Make sure you get your driver's insurance down there. But just to see Mexico. It's not really Mexico. Well, you do. You do go through Sonoita. That's a real Mexican town, though. It's a border town, so you can get every kind of drug you ever wanted. But Puerto Penasco is a nice resort town. But yeah, man, I would just do that. The problem is you're waiting for the dead of winter, and pretty much anything above that, Utah and Colorado and north is just going to be cold as shit. You may not even need a month. I'm trying to think what else. You could go near the coast, like Seattle, but then you got to go over the mountains to get to any part of Seattle that's nice. Yeah, Montana is definitely out. Idaho is out. South Dakota is out. Wyoming is out. Maybe Denver. Maybe. Because they got bipolar weather where it'll snow, will be cold, and the next day will be 60. So maybe if you got a little bit of extra time, you can haul your way out to Denver. But yeah, man, I have a feeling you're going to be relegated to that trifecta area, maybe the quad. Phoenix, Vegas, San Diego. If you want to bum around the northern bit of Mexico, I recommend Puerto Penasco and then head home. And then if you want to go up into Utah and Colorado, I'd recommend waiting till spring. Spring is when, wait till those mountain passes clear. Then that opens up all that traditional west not the Midwest, but the west mid latitude. I mean, shoot, sometimes the passes in Glacier don't melt out until July. So yeah, there you go. Maybe, you know what? Maybe split it. Do Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego for 2 to 3 weeks. And then what I would do is you get your ass back to Texas, catch up with work, and I'd fly to Florida. Bum around Florida for a week. I recommend St. Petersburg and Tampa as a starting spot. See if you like that. Give Florida a shake because that's not the worst place either. All right. Cappy, I recommend Bulgaria for your Mediterranean home. Does it border the Mediterranean? I thought it was a little further north. Anything else? Boom. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, asshole consulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.